I want her home, no matter what. I don't care who did it. I just want her back.
She doesn't deserve this. Just let her go. Just drop her off anywhere. The hospital, just please, if you could just find it in your hearts, just please let her go.
The family's gravely concerned. The fact that she was shot and kidnapped is a parent's worst nightmare.
It really is a mystery. This started as a shooting and it ended with a kidnapping.
Andrea Vazquez was born on April 11, 2004, in Downey City, California. She grew up in a one-story house with her Mexican immigrant parents, Eduardo and Ana, as well as her much older sister, Edelyn. Her father is originally from Jalisco, Mexico, so she used to spend summer vacations there when she was young. As a child, Andrea's introverted nature didn't deter her from leaving a lasting impact on those around her. Despite having a small circle of friends, she was known for her wit, humor, and her ability to lift spirits. Her father also encouraged her to engage in sports, so, from ages 7 to 14, she dedicated herself to soccer, earning accolades and trophies from the Downey Youth Soccer League. However, it was in high school that Andrea's true passion emerged: the world of fashion. During her junior and senior years, she often expressed her dreams of creating clothes for renowned artists and luxury brands. She also envisioned the creation of her own online boutique. This was why she eventually decided to pursue fashion design at Fullerton College. While studying, she also worked part-time at a mall in Cerritos, California. As a side hustle, she also helped her sister Edelyn with her lash art business. Despite a 15-year age gap, Andrea and her older sister shared a remarkable bond. The siblings often referred to each other as soulmates. Despite their contrasting personalities, they bonded over their love for coffee and music. They even got a tattoo of each other's name on their necks, a secret hidden from their mother for years. Regarding matters of the heart, Andrea's love life began to flourish in her late teens. According to Ana, Andrea and her boyfriend had been acquainted since high school. However, they never found themselves in the same class and rarely exchanged words on campus. It was only years later that their romance would blossom.
I loved her more than anybody could understand. Every moment with her was like a dream, you know?
Sadly, this dream would turn into a harrowing nightmare one fateful summer night. On August 19, 2023, the couple decided to go on a date at Penn Park in Whittier, California. There, they sat in the trunk of their parked car for hours, enjoying each other's company until a little past midnight. Suddenly, a white Toyota Tacoma pickup truck pulled up near their vehicle. The couple initially didn't pay attention to it and went about with their date. However, the driver then stepped out of his truck with a weapon in hand. Without warning, he began to open fire in the couple's direction. With no time to react, Andrea was immediately shot in the head, and both she and her boyfriend fell to the ground just behind their car. Andrea's boyfriend instinctively crouched in a desperate attempt to shield himself. He then looked over to his girlfriend to assess the gravity of her injuries. By this point, she was already bleeding profusely from the gunshot wound. Desperately wanting to get some help, he tried to get up to check if the shooter was still there. To his horror, he spotted the gunman with his rifle raised, and he was slowly making his way towards him.
When he got really close, he was about like 5 feet, 6 feet, and he just looked at me. He had like no emotions in his eyes, just he looked like he was on a mission, and I could tell like he didn't really have a heart, you know.
Fearing for his life, he then made the agonizing decision to run away, leaving his girlfriend behind. In a surprising twist, the gunman actually allowed him to flee and didn't fire another shot. Andrea's boyfriend then frantically sought help from another couple in the park. He also called the emergency hotline to report the incident to the police and contacted Andrea's family to let them know what just happened. However, it was during this critical moment that the assailant took advantage of his absence. The gunman picked Andrea up from the ground and forcibly dragged her into his truck before driving away. Moments later, Andrea's boyfriend heard the pickup truck leaving. He hastily returned to the crime scene to check on his girlfriend. However, Andrea and the gunman were no longer there. All that was left was a pool of blood near his car. Upon learning what happened to Andrea, Edelyn immediately tried to track her whereabouts via Apple's Find My iPhone feature. She and her sister had made it a habit of sharing each other's locations for their safety. so she was confident she'd be able to find Andrea. Edlin then drove from her home in Downey and followed the directions indicated on her sister's phone. Eventually, she ended up in an isolated open field in Riverside County in Moreno Valley. When she got there, the local authorities hadn't arrived yet, so she started searching for her sister on her own. However, Andrea was nowhere to be found. To make matters worse, Edlin spotted a pile of blood within the vicinity. At this point, she began to fear the worst. Meanwhile, Andrea's mother, Anna, and her aunt went to the Downey police station for help. Anna provided the authorities with the location indicated on her daughter's phone. She also informed them that, based on witnesses in the park, it was a white pickup truck that took her daughter. Anna and her sister then pleaded for the local officers to intervene.
They say you have to go to Whittier police, and I say I can't even drive. I was shaking. I cannot drive, and they said then you have to wait till they come here.
Given that the crime took place in Whittier, the Downey police force refrained from immediate action. According to them, they were simply following jurisdictional boundaries. Furthermore, one particular officer said that it'd be virtually impossible to stop every white truck driving on the freeway to look for Andrea and the suspect.
It hurt me so much to see my sister like that, and I approached to one of the officers, and at that time we believe it was a white truck, and I say to the officers, please, it's a white truck. They have my niece. Please, can you do something? You know, her sister is tracking her phone. The officer told me, you know how many white trucks are on the freeway. And I told her, stop all of them.
What the Downey police force did instead was to contact the Whittier station to ensure a coordinated and appropriate response. While the Downey officers were just trying to follow protocol, the Vazquez family became understandably upset at their seeming lack of urgency. Former LAPD detective and Vazquez family spokesman Moses Castillo also raised concerns about how the Downey police force initially responded.
Why couldn't they do that? Simple as that.
Indicating that the local authorities should have gone after the kidnapper, even if it required crossing jurisdictional boundaries. In urgent situations like this, boundaries should not have been an issue. Nonetheless, as soon as the report reached the Whittier police station, they acted immediately. Their law enforcement team swiftly deployed members to the Moreno Valley location pinpointed by Andrea's phone. They arrived fully equipped with drones and K9 units as they began a thorough search of the expansive open field. Additionally, they sent out a missing person alert across multiple social media platforms as they sought any information regarding Andrea's whereabouts. As for the Vazquez family, while they were extremely worried, they clung to hope, trusting that the dedicated police officers would find Andrea alive. They knew it was a long shot, but as devout Christians, they also believed that a miracle could still happen. Drawing strength from their faith, the Vazquez clan held a prayer vigil at Penn Park, at the very spot where Andrea was shot and abducted. For the next 48 hours following Andrea's disappearance, the Whittier police force tirelessly worked around the clock to locate her. They persevered despite the challenges posed by Tropical Storm Hillary, which unleashed powerful winds and heavy rainfall. This significantly complicated the already demanding task of searching through the fields.
They had a search crew, K9s, drones, everything around that area, but unfortunately that's when the hurricane hit that night, so it was really hard to do anything else.
Finally, on August 21st, at around 11:50 p.m., their search operation would come to a tragic end.
Police say the body of Andrea Vazquez was found in a field nearly 48 hours after she was abducted in Whittier.
Today is the worst day of my life. We received the news that my daughter died, and we have a lot of hope that she was alive. But this morning, everything.
And I can describe pain. I know, and I hope you understand me.
We are devastated. My uncle and my aunt are heartbroken. We have a good, strong support, a family support, and so we're here supporting and just trying to process all of this. It's hard.
Detectives found Andrea's lifeless body in a vegetation field of Alessandra Boulevard and Merwin Street in Moreno Valley. This particular remote area was around 60 miles from Penn Park, where she was kidnapped. The spot where they found her also wasn't far from the last location indicated on her sister's phone. Her identity was confirmed quickly, partly due to the tattoo of her sister's name on her neck, because it was really late. The Whittier police officers opted to delay delivering the heartbreaking news to Andrea's family until the following day. On the morning of August 22nd, the Vazquez family received the official notification about Andrea's tragic fate. For her family, it marked the most agonizing day of their lives. "Today's the worst day of my life. We received the news that my daughter died. We had a lot of hope that she was alive, but this morning, everything, I can't describe the pain. I know and I hope you understand me. We are devastated. My uncle and my aunt are heartbroken. We have a good strong support, family support, and so we're here supporting and just trying to process all of this. It's hard." Community members held another candlelight vigil that night at Penn Park in a show of solidarity. This time, more than 100 people showed up to honor Andrea's memory. Friends and families prayed and took turns reminiscing about their most cherished moments with the deceased. In an interview with a local news station covering this event, Andrea's mother publicly appealed for an end to the criticisms directed at her daughter's boyfriend. The Vazquez family held no ill will against him for what he did. They believed he only did the right thing by running away and calling for help. A lot of people are speculating he may have had something to do with this. A lot of mean, nasty comments online. "You were just telling me you wish that would stop." Yeah, because he's not. He did the right thing. If he didn't do what he did, he is another victim. Since the shooting and kidnapping incident was first reported, Andrea's boyfriend has faced harsh comments from the public for leaving her behind at the crime scene. Some even went as far as insinuating that he wasn't on the crime since he was able to escape unscathed. These allegations, however, have no basis. Nonetheless, the public criticisms did affect him. It partly contributed to his decision to maintain anonymity throughout the media coverage of the incident. While the Vazquez family was still grappling with the aftermath of this tragic event, local authorities announced a significant breakthrough in the case later that same day. The Whittier Police Department arrested Gabriel Esparza Monday afternoon and believe they recovered the weapon used in the shooting. Detectives from the Whittier Police Department revealed that they had apprehended the assailant, a 20-year-old man named Gabriel Sean Esparza. His arrest actually took place the day before, August 21st, at approximately 3 p.m. This was just a few hours prior to the discovery of Andrea's body. The police took him without incident at his workplace in Lakewood City. Local authorities were also able to recover the weapon and the white Toyota Tacoma pickup truck Esparza used to carry out this heinous crime. Based on reports, the weapon that Esparza used was registered under the name of another family member. It's noteworthy that, under California law, ownership of a rifle requires an individual to be at least 21 years old. Because the investigation is still ongoing, the police officers decided not to go into specifics on how they were able to track the perpetrator. However, a few reliable sources from Fox 11 Los Angeles claimed that Esparza gave an extremely detailed confession before his arrest. When asked about this, Esparza's legal counsel, Ambrosio Rodriguez, merely skirted around the question instead of confirming it. "My client has no criminal record, comes from a very good family, was a full-time college student, had a full-time job." As for the Whittier police force, they did disclose some crucial information gathered during their preliminary investigation. For instance, they revealed that Esparza had no connection whatsoever with Andrea Vazquez or her boyfriend. All signs indicated that this was a random crime, and the couple was merely at the wrong place at the wrong time. This answered the burning question of the Vazquez family as to why Andrea was targeted in the first place. This also put to rest the theories floating on social media sites that the perpetrator was a jilted ex-lover of the victim. The investigators further verified that after Esparza abducted Andrea, he indeed drove to a remote area in Moreno Valley. However, their next revelation would show just how gruesome the nature of this crime truly was. Authorities disclosed that upon reaching the open field, Esparza attempted to do unspeakable acts on Andrea's body before ultimately choosing to abandon her in the field and drive away. It was never established whether Andrea was still alive by the time her body was discarded in the open field. However, evidence showed that she was still bleeding heavily from the gunshot wound when she was left behind. This development came as a shock to Esparza's friends and family. According to his lawyer, Everyone who knew him found it hard to believe he had been charged with such a crime. Esparza had no criminal record prior to this incident and was a full-time college student at an undisclosed university, working full-time at a Pep Boys automotive service branch in Lakewood City. He came from a privileged background, with his father serving as a captain at the Los Angeles County Fire Department. Throughout his life, he never showed any indication of being capable of such gruesome acts. Esparza's lawyer also noted that his client felt scared after his arrest and was just beginning to understand the gravity of the situation. Some legal experts interpreted this as a potential indication that Esparza's lawyer might be considering a temporary insanity defense strategy. On August 23, 2023, the first of several preliminary hearings took place, with around 30 of Andrea's closest friends and family members gathering in a downtown Los Angeles courtroom to show support. This was also the first time they faced the assailant. During the hearing, prosecutors formally filed 7 charges against Gabriel Esparza, including attempted murder, kidnapping with the intent to commit another crime, assault with intent to commit a felony, and 2 counts of attempted forcible acts. Despite rumors that Esparza had already confessed, his lawyer entered a not guilty plea for him on all charges. Another preliminary hearing was held on October 25, 2023, where Andrea's friends and family gathered again, hoping for progress. However, the judge rescheduled the hearing to early 2024. Vazquez family spokesman Moses Castillo acknowledged that these preliminary hearings might extend into 2024 or even 2025 before an official trial begins. With Esparza's not guilty plea, it could take several years before sentencing. Regardless of the timeline, the Vazquez family remained committed to seeking justice for Andrea. "I want justice for my daughter. She was just starting her life. I don't want this to happen to any other girl." Los Angeles County District Attorney George Gascon vowed to ensure Esparza was held accountable, seeking special circumstance charges to imply a more severe or heinous crime under California law. If convicted, Esparza could face life imprisonment without the possibility of parole, although capital punishment is a legal penalty in California. An official moratorium imposed by Governor Gavin Newsom in June 2023 has suspended all executions. As of late 2023, Esparza is being held without bail at the Whittier Police Department. An autopsy conducted on Andrea's body on August 24, 2023, did not disclose her official cause of death to the public. The Downey Police Department issued a statement addressing criticisms of their initial response, asserting that they actively engaged in the case from the early hours of August 20th and promptly shared information with the Whittier Police Department. The Whittier Police Department acknowledged the Downey Police Department's assistance in finding the killer within 48 hours of the crime. Given the tragic impact on her family, Andrea's cousin, Diana Ortiz, launched a GoFundMe campaign to support the Vazquez family. The response was overwhelming, with contributions exceeding $40,000 from over 900 donors. Though the campaign was temporarily halted, the family expressed gratitude for the support. On September 6, 2023, Andrea was laid to rest at Rose Hills Memorial in Whittier, California, in a ceremony that celebrated a life cut short too soon. Andrea's family continues to seek justice, determined not to stop until they achieve it. "My daughter had a brilliant future, and now she's not here. We're looking forward to getting justice for my daughter, and we're not going to stop until justice is done because no one deserved this. Her memory lives on in the hearts of her loved ones and those whose lives she touched. She's an angel, not just because she's my daughter, but she's an angel. She was special. She was special. And that's what everyone told me. She was special. She didn't deserve this at all. If anyone knew her, they knew how much of a good person she was. You know, I always love her and I just miss her a lot every day."